Alright, it's time to return to gaming on my end here. This is Gray Fox 37.
And Pikachu 23.
And we're here for Secret of Mana Remake on Steam or PC. I got this game when it first came out for Christmas back in 93, and it's a really colorful game. Really was never heard of the series before or anything like that, but we were just my brother and I were blown away at this game. Probably played it hundreds of gajillions of times and never gotten sick or bored of it, which was really great there. But basically, it actually is a whole trilogy. Let me clear my throat. Excuse me. It's actually a whole trilogy of games. Final Fantasy Adventure, which was on the Game Boy 91, is actually a Secret of Mana game. If you hadn't caught on from the enemies that are in it, the bosses, the items and stuff, or a few of the items and stuff like that. So it kind of makes sense, except that was more kind of Zelda style. The remake they did for that, Adventures of Mana, which I got for my cell phone, was really good. A lot of the dialogue was better, and they had they called the items properly and just looked a lot better. Secret of Mana Remake actually looks pretty good too for its 3D graphics, so I was pretty impressed with that. Nothing like super stunning. A lot of people have been complaining like, oh, it's not true like the original, and it looks like cell phone graphics. It's like, well, what did you expect? I mean, what did you expect from this remake here? But it's really, they fixed up the translation, which was great because it was pretty poorly translated on the Super Nintendo. Of course, this is kind of one of those games where you were trying to figure out like what the hell is going on with the plot. Like it felt rushed. In this one, it pretty much kind of evens out nicely, which is good. The gameplay has gotten a bit better too. Like everybody, like the pathfinding issues where if some characters would get stuck behind things, there's a few times they still do, but it's not as bad. And the other thing is the game lets you progress, and then your characters catch up with you on the next screen, which is a godsend. It's still multiplayer, which is cool. Like on the Super, you could have up to 3 players if you had that extended adapter, but you do that through the a ROM of it, basically, 3 game pads on your computer, which is pretty cool. Did that with a couple of my friends in the past there, but you can do it. It's only local multi, though. I was hoping it would be like web-based, multiplayer, wireless multiplayer, but sadly, they didn't go for that. My Logitech gamepad runs with it. Looks like a PS2 controller. My Pro controller for my Switch works well on my laptop because that has Bluetooth, and my computer, now being 7 years old, doesn't have Bluetooth on it. My personal PC, and then the names of things are pretty cool. Like they changed a couple of the names of some of the weapons in it. Like the broadsword, which is level 2, is actually a rapier and things like that. Visually, again, it's not too shabby. A couple of areas, like when you go to the lofty mountains, or a little, like the mountains kind of play on my eyes where I'm just like, oh, that's scrolling, it's terrible. So, a couple things like that. Enemies are, the game's pretty much still same challenge and things like that. Same locations, same items, just different names for some of them. It does get a little tricky at some parts, and obviously when you go through the Mana Fortress, for example, getting slammed over and over by those dark stalkers, and going through all sorts of things. I won't completely ruin it there. Let's see. Some of the downsides, though, a few of the remade songs suck, unfortunately. Like, some are really good. But then, like, my favorite song, which is, like, the Republic of Taznica, that I have to listen to the original because the remake's really crappy and it's an insult. But then there's some, like, the intro theme is really good. The Kakara Desert's probably one of my favorites. The Gaia overworld themes, not the Lower Lands theme, isn't too bad. I prefer the old one more, but the new one's pretty good. They do it with with strings and stuff like that rather than with a flute. But I mean, there's the original had trumps the original soundtrack trumps it a bit more. At different parts, we can listen to like the remake and the original score and things like that. Another kind of downsized side to it, and this is just kind of more of a personal glitch I exploited. I used to love hammering enemies over and over with magic with my sprite over and over. It's like bam, 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 press X, bring up the magic ring, boom, boom, just keep taking them out and everything like that. But yeah, they kind of slowed it down in this one, which is kind of a drag, but it creates a little bit more balance, which is good because you can kind of plan your next attack a little better. But honestly, I kind of miss that there. Just you can still somewhat do it, but not as quickly as you would. Also, the final boss exploit of casting like Remedy or Cure Water when he's coming at you, unfortunately, is that exploit's been taken away too, which was kind of a drag. Other than that, I mean, I'm a classic gamer. I grew up on a Nintendo. I was born in '82. A lot of people, for some reason, don't like this remake. I think it's good. I really like it. I'm playing it. Honestly, I'm playing it more than I am the Super Nintendo, and it's more because I guess I kind of like the visuals a lot better, and I also like the being able to see the plot pull out better. Plus, when you stay at an inn, another bonus is that the characters get more added depth and things like that, which is awesome.
And some of them the interactions are really funny.
They are. They really, really are. Now, the English voices suck. That's another thing about it. I mean, they're really bad. I usually like when I watch anime, for example, I usually watch in Japanese with the English subtitles, but let me tell you something. Sometimes some English versions are decent, like Space Dandy, Cowboy Bebop, Record of Lotus War, shows how old I am. But then, there's some where it's like, especially like High School DxD, if you're a really big pervert, it's like if you're, like if you watch hentai or something, it's like you watch it in English for laughs, and then you watch it in Japanese because you want to beat off you sinful, shameful person. But anyway, I'm boiling the kettle black there. But basically, we're gonna play in Japanese with the English subtitles. I can't stand the English voices, and it just goes through the whole thing too when they're attacking and whatnot. So, but what we're gonna do today is we're gonna level up 5 levels in the beginning, fighting a shit ton of rabbits, and we're going to beat the Mantis Ant, and then we're gonna call it a day there. Just gonna show off a couple of the game and stuff like that. Probably gonna be a major playlist for this more than likely, because we're gonna kind of take it one step at a time. Artist76 eventually will get down with me, like when I get to the sprite after Gaia's navel, we'll basically Ardith and I will play together, and we may have to play on my laptop. So that's going to be kind of where we'll be having the microphone. I might have to see if I can set a voice meter banana on my laptop and see if I can get the microphone to tune with it, which should be easy because it's only going to be one sound output, rather than 2. And that way it should stop the echoing, because when we were using the microphone last time on Gabriel Knight 3, there was some echoing.
It did not like us very much.
But anyway, are you ready to rumble there, Pikachu? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to get the music cranked up here. Now, another thing is that you can, normally in the original game it'd be like 4 items at a time. I like to crank it up to 12 just for the hell of it. I played this game so many times that, I'm just going to make it a little easier and stuff like that. It's not that this game is like super tough. It's just I kind of like taking advantage of things that I never had originally. Like when you play the game over and over and over, eventually you kind of like start using cheat codes sometimes just to see how godlike you are after. Like Doom 3, I rushed through basically on like hard mode and everything, and then I came back and did like the all weapons cheat, so I'm like, oh cool, I got the minigun early and I'm mowing down imps and zombies. It's always fun to go back and kind of do that sort of thing and see how fast you go through with that. I mean, but originally, obviously you play you play the game at its purest and stuff when you first play it, and then later on you exploit it. That's my rule. I mean, however you play games, however you play a game and stuff. All right, well, without further ado, let's crank it up.
That sounds horrible.
There we go.
I call it the squeak.
So we're going to go here, Japanese, English, and so let's input a name. Oops, wrong button. I was going to call myself Fox.
Oh, but I wanted you to call yourself Toad.
Yeah, I don't think
From
so.
Mario.
Alright, so let's hit OK. Long ago, the world prospered and humanity thrived thanks to a power known as mana. However, humans soon sought to use mana to create the ultimate weapon, a floating battleship called the Mana Fortress. This greedy arrogance angered the gods, who in turn unleashed vicious beasts into the world. And there's the Mana Beast. Big ass dragon. A violent war between the Mana Beasts and the fortress engulfed the world in poison and fire until mana had all but disappeared. And there goes the Mana Fortress down in flames. In humanity's bleakest hour, a hero wielding the Mana Sword appeared and destroyed the fortress. The world was left in shambles, and yet humanity preserved, and there was peace throughout the land. But as time passes, so history repeats. That was a nice little transition from the fortress where the sword was stuck to the rock by the falls. With all those flamingos. Now loading.
Oh.
So we got Fox. Hey guys, wait up! Walking on the log with Timothy and Elliot. Whoa. Shh, be quiet, stupid. If the elder finds us here, we're done for. Yeah, we're not supposed to be here. Everyone in the village knows about the ghost.
Oh, a ghost.
You really believe that old fib? The grown-ups just say that there's a ghost to scare us away. Look at that constipated face. But I did hear Grandma say that she saw something shiny between the falls when she was little. Maybe it's treasure. Let's go find it. Now I'm falling.
No.
Help, I'm gonna fall.
Uh-oh.
Hanging on. And down he goes. They shake their heads and run away.
Oh, dear.
And we fall right into the water.
Oh.
And we're dead.
Ouch.
Game over.
Yeah.
So now loading again.
Nice job.
Oh, ouch. There's no way back up. Now what am I going to do?
Not panic.
So, as you can see, these patterns up here are a little disorienting. Like if you walk, it's just like, ah! So this is the remake music.
This sounds like cave music.
And then the graphics up here. I'm moving my mouse in the upper right. These are the original Super Nintendo right here. But it's a mini map now. I'm going to have to change my control options in a moment.
I just fell and almost died, but we get this happy music.
So we're running along the creek here. Fox, listen. Sword's talking to him. I'm sorry, my computer was talking to me. Huh? Alright, so there's the rusty sword there. So we're coming up to some bushes. The village is this way, but I'll never get through here without a weapon. So, I mean, visually it's not that bad. It really isn't. I like it. So you come up to the sword here. So now I'm walking up to the sword.
It's...
Yeah, Fox, take the sword.
But it's ugly.
Who are you? What's the sword doing here? Heave. There. And he pulls it out. Too bright. What's with this light? Oh, ghost.
No, it's not a ghost.
Fox, listen. I entrust the sword to you. Huh? What do you mean? Oh, what's up with this sword? He holds it up.
It's
Got
very
a bright
shiny.
flash. Yep. Light's fading already. I have to get back to the village.
Uh-oh. I must tell them how crazy I am.
Alright, I gotta fix my controls here.
The ghost in the sword talked to me. I am totally normal.
Yeah, that's better. There we go. So here's the ring system, basically. This is where you... Oops. This is where you equip your armor, so I've only got overalls so far. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as the original. Targeting system for enemies, status screen, obviously, self-explanatory. But like, so where you see you have like your hit chance, that's to avoid or hit or miss, and then evade is like if you like do like your character does backflips and stuff like that to avoid attacks. So
Run away!
and then you can like navigate through here, you know, using the LB and RB buttons. This is where this is that action grid. It's not that 16 square grid anymore like on the Super. They basically just have it where it's like allies attack same target, attack enemies not targeted by allies, or you can protect, you know, the girl or the sprite. And then the attack gauge obviously is if for the computer controlled characters to charge their weapons up. So there you go with that. Weapon level obviously is to show like what level of orbs you have, and then like how much progress you've had to do charged up attacks, which are badass, of course. Then you got your guide for the characters, monsters, and weapons. And then, you know, basically this is kind of like the quest log here, for a new feature for the this version of the game. So that's pretty much that there. And there you go. So that's kind of it in the nutshell for you. Alright, so now he says, I can cut my way through with this. I brought my own mic. Yes, well, so as you can see, you can cut some grass, kind of like Link to the Past. So, yay. Okay. So now... Whoa, what's a rabbi doing in a place like this?
Uh-oh. Ooh.
So as you can see, attacking's pretty cool. So this is the remake music of the Lower Lands overworld. Let you guys listen. Sorry about that, I was scratching my ear. Alright, so this is, next we'll do the, Next we'll do the original. So, kind of like that one a little more, but this one's still pretty good.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go around and beat up rabbits for a while and whatnot. Anything you want to talk about, Pikachu?
I don't know. Not really.
Yes, infinitely fun. Whoa, dodge that guy.
Uh-oh.
Well, I really loved playing this game after school or on weekends. This game came out a year after Pikachu was born.
Apparently.
So we're just kind of twisting through. Ooh, critical hit, yeah. So we're just kind of twisting through. So rabbits, you would usually drop like candy or 4 gold pieces sometimes. I'd love to get some, an even balance of candy and gold. And unfortunately, rabbits can do damage to you easily because we're at level 1.
Ew. That's nice.
So you start with 50 hit points there.
Come here, you little weirdos.
Yeah, weapon skill up. Alright, cool. There we go. Alright, so this is the level 1 attack here. You jump and hack at him.
Charge!
Yeah, so pretty cool.
I call it the leaping slash.
Now, normally you'd want to build up to like level 3, so I'm at 2 now. Normally you want to level up to level 3, but I'm going to level up to 5. And the reason being is because, yeah, see there, I took some damage right there. And the reason that you want to build up to level 5 is that way you can get like some gold for some equipment that I usually like to get ahead of time. Basically, I know, because I know like, what we're going to get in the future and things like that. Got some candy there. Candy restores about 100 hit points a piece. But, since I know what's going to happen ahead of time, I usually kind of prep in advance for a lot of stuff. So that's why I'm just kind of running around and beating up rabbits and things like that. So, we're going to be switching between these 2 screens here. So
They're not very nice, so why not?
Now, when I hit, the reason why you want to build a level 3 as well is because you can actually take out rabbits with like 1 hit because they have 20 hit points. So.
Yep.
Because as you can see, my max attack is like 19 hit points on them right now. So. And keep in mind, I'm not the most mathematically adept at this game, so, I'm just, there's some things where I do know the math, and there's some things where I don't, but I just know, like, what to prep for in advance, and these is, like, a lot of the stuff I'm going to be giving is just kind of like personal preference. However you decide to play the game is how you decide, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm kind of a almost completionist in this game, too, so. Especially when it comes to the end game stuff, there'll be a lot of grinding like I'm doing right now. So you see, when your evade gets up, you can either lift your sword up and hold it up like a block, or you backflip, which is pretty cool. When you attack, you want to make sure that your meter that's showing up, move my mouse over here, is at 100% to get the best damage. Sometimes you can attack enemies, and there's some more candy. You can attack enemies, and it'll do like small damage like that right there. But what you want to do is the 100% will give you the most effective. Some enemies, if you try to attack when you're not charged at 100%, they can evade it. So that's another thing to keep in mind when you play this game. Anticipate your enemy's attacks too, especially if you're in an area where they're slightly stronger than you. You don't have the complete upgraded gear yet, especially when you get to the upper land, because that's when things get really, really tricky, and that's where I'm probably going to be dying a little bit more. So, because those silk tails, which are the evolved forms of rabbits, are a little tricky. Just to let you know. So. Plus, another cool thing about playing this is Pikachu's first playthrough of this game with me, so...
We did some of it together.
Some of it, but not all of it, yeah. So this is going to be the full playthrough, basically. So, aside from building up your level and things, this is also building up your gold for equipment. Got some more candy there.
Yep.
What were you laughing at?
Oh, just remembering when you meet the sprite.
Oh...
It's really
some more
funny.
candy there.
And then the girl is kind of funny sometimes too, because she always gets mad.
But we already know that.
Yep.
That's so sexist, Gray Fox. How dare you?
Yes, but if you play the game, you know that's what happens.
Said far more offensive things than this.
Oh, I know.
Gotta watch my pregame videos. Found some more candy there. Come on, I want 4 gold, damn it.
Yeah, come on. Give us the money.
I want the money. I want the money. See, now I do 20. Here's another chest.
Bye-bye.
And there's more candy. Dodge
you lose,
there.
weirdos.
And as you can see, avoiding enemies is a lot easier too. More candy. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Having 12 inventory items is just too easy for this game. It makes this game like way too easy, especially later on if you keep getting hammered way too much. Yeah. I wonder how many people are gonna like scroll through all this. It's like, okay, he's at level 5. Now let's go to the Mantis Ant and have our lives taken back.
Oh no! It's not that bad, and the music is kind of nice. So there you go.
Grinding can be a little boring. Like when I play Betrayal at Crondor,
sometimes
I'm probably gonna probably have to do some gold grinding without being recorded, just to get through that there, because I don't want to put, when I start playing that game, I don't want to put people through the eternal boredom of that.
Yeah, but the music is so good.
In Betrayal at Crondor? Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it plays.
Yes.
I'm talking about in Tanner's. If you played the game, there's a glitch in Tanner's where you can get gold over and over and over with your bard skill. You can usually get like 250 gold a pop. So I like to exploit that because I like to get like big time equipment before the first chapter is over.
Yeah.
So.
Whee!
4 gold! Yeah! All right. Later on, sometimes these treasure chests can get a little nasty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Do they
Doom
explode?
traps. Oh yeah, there is a bomb one.
Oh,
and then there's also a punching glove one.
Ew.
There's a doom trap that can either kill you or leave you with a hit point.
Oh.
There's a Shadow Zero, which drains your mana if you have a character that has mana.
Ew.
Yep. And there's some mimic boxes, which can be extremely tough.
Uh-oh.
Because they can probably kill you in like a hit or two, practically.
Ew.
Oh, yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah, this game's chock full of surprises.
Fun.
Oh, yeah. Another thing I like about it is when you run, it slowly like drains down your meter. Like check that out, and you can like move in different directions. Because in the original, like you could only go in one direction, and then you'd have to wait to get charged up.
What?
And then the other nice thing is that it charges up from where you left off at, rather than having to fill up from 0 to 100, which is pretty cool. So as you can see, that's kind of an example of where you can get like the Rabbites can like beat up on you there.
Uh-oh.
So, but we made it through with flying colors. If I were still level 1, I'd probably have had to eventually pop some candy in my mouth there.
Oh.
Speaking of which, there's some candy. So you see the hit detection's a lot better in this too, because sometimes in the Super I'd be like, I hit the son of a bitch, but then there's like some flying enemies where you kind of have to use like certain angles and stuff to get them through.
Funky weirdos with flying enemies.
Now sometimes you can do a not full charge attack, like especially on if you know how much HP they have in the beginning left over. So like if you do like an 8 there, you know, obviously you want to make sure you do a full hit. You know, not like that, or you can just do that there and then boom is done. So
Goodbye.
So like if you do like 15 damage, just go ahead and attack them again real quick, and you're usually going to do like 7 to 9 on them there.
Uh-oh.
Boy, these guys are mad at me. I've been beating up on too many of their homies.
They're mad at you for being a hater.
Let's go get this chest here.
Ooh.
Some more candy. Give me some fucking candy.
Yes. C-A-N-D-I-E.
C-A-E-D-N-E. Or C-A-N-D-I-E. Another Fred Herbert joke there. Alright, level 4.
Yay.
One more level to go and then we can move on with our lives.
Yes.
This is where enemies will have a much tougher time attacking.
Haha. Too bad for them. Uh-oh.
Well, almost.
Mostly. They mostly come out at night.
It's mostly, and see, if you build up to at least a level 1 attack on any of the weapons you get, you can sometimes automatically do a jump move there, which is pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Happens with every weapon there.
Yes.
It's kind of a mimicked critical hit, if you would.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Clever girl. Attacked me while I was finishing up an attack.
Uh-oh.
There's another 4 gold. Yay!
Yay.
Alright, so critical hits are starting to do 40 points of damage there, which is good. Oh, later on, critical hits, especially if when you get the mass immune, is awesome. Which is a level 6 sword because it ups your critical hit chance. Much like in Chrono Trigger. When you get it with Frog.
Frog. The frog has a nice song.
I'd love to. Oh yeah.
The frog
Frog's
song.
theme. See, like there, just go ahead and do another hit and then boom. Like right away. Yeah, Frog's theme is awesome. 4 gold, yay!
Ooh.
But yeah, I wish I could play Chrono Trigger, not the Super Nintendo version because the translation's a little crummy, but wish I could play like the DS version and just record it on screen. Wish I could play the Adventures of Mana, but I think I can actually use Google Games on my cell phone to like live stream that.
They don't have a DS emulator thing?
Oh, they do, but emulation is like being attacked like hardcore right now.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
That's right.
4 gold. So I'd be lucky if I even find anything.
Lame.
Yeah. Then they'd probably come at me like Die Hard with something. 4 gold.
Whee!
Candy won't fit, so I got the max 12 now.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Boom.
Why can't they just do like Pokemon? You can have 999 of this item.
Oh, brother.
Or I think it's 99, which would be helpful.
That'd make this game way too easy then.
Good point.
12 already makes it easy. So if you're looking for a challenge, stick with 4 items total on each slot. $4 gold!
Yay!